What is PPSSPP VR? No, I do not have Tourette's syndrome, and I am not calling a cat. Hey guys, how's it going? Cartoon Carl here. Back again with part 2 of the How to VR series. In this series, Dave Digo and Ed have given me free rein to a more extensive dive into the tutorial side of things. This also gives Dave and Ed a chance to do whatever the hell it is a guy does with a little head. Oh, hey wait, that wasn't supposed to sound like... Anyway. PPSSPP VR. As the name suggests, this is an offshoot, well, one of two offshoots, of the PPSSPP emulator. This emulator is used to get PSP games up and running on your devices. Now, as I previously mentioned, PPSSPP VR is the name of two distinct forks. One for PC VR. This was headed by Carl Kenner, aka 2i Guy, aka that absolute genius who created Dolphin VR. And just like Dolphin VR, it hasn't had an update in nigh on 7 years. The other fork, more recent and fantastic I might add fork, is by Louis Vaughn for standalone devices such as Quest and Pico. Now, this guide is geared more towards the standalone version of PPSSPP VR. However, as they're both based on the same emulator, PPSSPP, a lot of this guide is relevant to the PC VR version also. I would say between 65 and 75% at least. Okay, so how do we get PPSSPP VR on our standalone device? Well, the quick and easy method is to go onto Sidequest. There you'll find the official stable version of PPSSPP VR ready to download. However, if you're more adventurous like I am, head on over to the Discord. There, you will get access to the dev builds of PPSSPP VR. With all the goodies and bells and whistles that you can test and you can try out before they go live. Okay, so we have posted some showcases in both short form on TikTok and short form long form on YouTube also of select PSP titles that work really well in VR. Now we've tweaked them to our liking, such as getting the camera in the first person perspective, etc. And that's led a lot of people to ask, gee, how the hell did you do that? Well, okay, there's not a lot of documentation out there, granted. So with that in mind, I present to you part 2 of How to VR. If you want to catch up on part 1 of the series, we covered Dolphin VR. Alright, let's get to it.
VRified Games.
पिया को मना मानत नाही रे पिया को मना मानत नाही रे बिनती करते मैं तो हार गई रे बिनती करते मैं तो हार गई रे पिया को मनानत नाही रे बिनती करूं पैया परूं बिनती करूं पैया परूं जाओ तो भी वारी 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 रे बिनती करते मैं तो हार गई रे पिया को मनानत नाही रे पिया को मना पिया को मना पिया को मना मानत नाही रे.
Use the Sidequest desktop app. Alright? Drag the APK file into your Sidequest. It'll install on your headset. Now it's the same process as before. Run it at least once to create folders. Alright? Connecting your Quest back to the PC. Search it. Look for the folder saying PSP. Find the folder saying Games. And that is where you place your game files. Alright, moving on to the next section. Use PPSSPP VR, run it. Okay, now you should see any of your games showing up here. If not, in some cases they don't appear. It happens every now and again. Go to Homebrew and choose the folder game, and they'll all just appear there. More often than not, you won't need to do that step, but sometimes it's necessary. Okay, so when you run a game first time, you might notice the graphics look a little washed out, a little faded. And you think to yourself, oh geez, this is so drab, this is so dreary, I can't enjoy these games. Well, fret not. Go ahead, press the button indicated on screen now. There you're going to see a menu saying Display. Go ahead and click it. Under there is a myriad of options you can choose. The ones on screen are what I use that give me the best results, but your mileage may vary, and it does vary on a game-by-game basis. So you might have some luck with some filters on some games, and no luck with the same filters on other games. You just have to kind of mess around with it. But these two filters work really well, for me, in my case at least. And just to highlight this filter that I use, you can actually go in and tweak things a little bit. So you can tweak the brightness, the gamma, the saturation, really dial it in to where it looks as close as it did on PSP or even better. Alright, and I'll use King Kong as an example. This is it without anything applied. And this is it with my settings. Pretty significant, no? Alright, moving on to the next section. already pre-configured that you can use your touch controllers. And that's great. It may not be 100% intuitive, however, for certain games. So what I would suggest is to connect a controller via Bluetooth. And this will become very integral later on if you want to change certain aspects such as camera distance, camera height, that kind of thing. You will need to follow this step. But if you just want to play games generally with a gamepad, alright, you will need this anyway. So go ahead and press your settings. Choose devices. Bluetooth. Pair device. Alright. I use the DualShock 4 personally. Xbox, PlayStation, doesn't matter, they'll all work as long as they're Bluetooth enabled. Go ahead and put your controller in pairing mode. It should appear on screen. Select pair, absolutely. Why would it even ask you? You're doing this yourself. I don't get it. You're trying to pair your own controller and it asks you, are you sure you want to pair your own controller? No, I don't want to pair the controller. I don't know why I even pressed this menu. Jesus. Anyway, connect your controller. Whew. Okay. So once your controller is connected, it will not be bound to any key. You will have to do that manually. So you will need to use your Quest controllers or your Pico controllers initially to start the process. So go ahead and open up the PPSSPP VR menu. Alright, go to settings. Go to buttons and layout. Okay. Now follow what I have exactly in order to use our settings. You may need to adjust if you're using an Xbox controller, but essentially you want all the thumbsticks to look like thumbsticks and D-pads to look like D-pads. That's how you want it to look, okay? Alright. Go ahead and follow the guide. Alright. Once you got all that all set up, you're ready to use your gamepad to play games, you will also be able to do the various tweaks that we have done in terms of moving the camera, fine-tuning things, just how we would like it in VR. Alright, moving on to the next section. Go ahead now and configure the camera and the graphical decoupled. So where you're pointing and where you're looking are two separate things. You can walk in one direction and freely look around. That's the default setting, and it's actually the setting I prefer in VR games. However, there are many out there who prefer to have the direction their HMD is facing be the direction they are walking. And that's perfectly fine. Within PPSSPP VR, you also have that option. But it's semi-hidden in advanced settings, so okay. Let's open up our settings menu. Scroll down to VR. Go to advanced. Alright, and this option here for HMD rotation. Press it. Now, bear in mind this option only works for games where the view is dictated by the D-pad or control stick. Now, some PSP titles use the face buttons, the X, triangle, square, and circle, for camera view. Now, if you want to use this setting with that, you need to go back into your controller bindings and just swap it around. That's how you get that done. Alright, moving on to the next section. He's created a custom camera profile for Chinatown Wars. Now, Chinatown Wars was a top-down perspective game. However, there was a ROM hack a few years ago making it possible to play in first person. I had played this game in a short on my channel. Lubas had seen this and thought, oh gee, I can do that. So he went ahead and implemented this camera system right into PPSSPP VR. Now, it's done with GTA Chinatown Wars in mind, but it may also work with other top-down games. So okay, let's check it out. Open up your settings. Go to VR, Advanced. This is the setting right here, you guys. Change it to top-down to first person. Alright, go back into your Chinatown Wars and suddenly you're in first person. Pretty neat, huh? Alright. Not too bad, right guys? So okay, there's a couple little hoops you need to jump through, but once you've jumped through them, we're good to go. It's pretty simple after that. All the settings are uniform across everything. Unlike Dolphin VR, where the UI is floating in space, and you can look around, your head's not locked to it, the UI in PPSSPP VR is locked to your head movement, so wherever you look, you can see the UI. Now, there's plus and minuses for both implementations of UI, but I find that having it locked to your headset makes it easier for tweaking. As you can see here, we didn't have to go really that extensive into tweaking the graphical user interface. Not as much as we had to do with Dolphin. Alright. So that's pretty much it, you guys. If you have any questions, you can throw them down in the comment section below. You can head on over to the Discord and talk to Lubos. What are you waiting for? You got a Pico? You got a Quest? You need to get PPSSPP VR installed on that bad boy. You're going to increase your game library by hundreds. Alright. That's it, you guys. See y'all in game.
VRified Games.